These are the chords on 1, 3, 4, 5, and they're going to revolve around a dominant seventh with both types of alterations of the ninth and the fifth. The raised ninth, lowered ninth, the raised fifth, and the lowered fifth. And they're going to be on F. So we'll start with, as a basis, just to jump off, the inversions of the F7 with the raised fifth, F, A, E flat, and D flat. A, C sharp, or D flat, F, and E flat. C sharp, or D flat, E flat, A, and F. And finally, E flat, F, D flat, and A. So they'll be the four basic forms that we'll start with. If we start with the first form, we can lower the D flat to B, F, A, E flat, and D, and B rather, going from D flat. If we lower the top voice, again, we have a sharp 9, F, A, E flat, and A flat. Of course, resolving to the B flat. Keeping in mind that with this family, generally, is that if we take the note from the first string and put it on the sixth, we obviously have the 3, 4, 5, 6 string family, just a transference principle. So from there, we have the chords that will now go up. So the E flat, I'll bring the G flat. So I have F, A, G flat, and D flat. And I can lower the top voice to B with that to give sort of a flat 9 and a sharp 5 and flat 5 type sound. Also, just straight across, F, A, G flat, and E flat. So now we have a number of different sounds that come right out of that. Can resolve to a B flat, also resolve to obviously resolve to an E minor as well. So more on that as well in a little bit. So we now have the flat 9 in the alto voice. So let's bring it back the other way. So we'll go back to the F, A, E flat, and B, and we'll lower the tenor voice from A to G flat. So now we have a B triad over F, F, G flat, E flat, and B. And of course that resolves very nicely into the B flat, but also, I guess, also into an E minor type sound. That's sort of a minor major type sound with a flat 5. So that's a nice resolution there. Okay, now taking the G flat, and we can raise it to, the B, and raise it to D flat. That's an option as well. So that'll resolve to the B flat minor or the B flat major nicely. Also, what we should mention is the related chords, which will be E flat minor 7 flat 5, the A major 7 with a sharp 5, the F sharp minor major 7, and of course a sharp 9 chord on F. And here's how that would work. If we take this chord in particular, the F, A, E flat, and A flat, move backwards. Let's take the E flat down to D flat. So we now have an F7, F, A, D flat, A flat, resolving nicely to, the B flat minor major 7 type sound. We can also lower the D flat to B, and that has the same resolution possibility, that resolving to B flat minor. So all of those chords work, so to speak. You can do a voice exchange, also F, A, B, and D flat, and then resolve it to the B flat minor. That's fine as well. Or to an E flat minor major 6. That's okay too. So it'd be E, G, D flat, or excuse me, E flat and D flat. So you would have that type of sound. And what relates is this F sharp minor major 7 right here. And it can reduce to an E flat minor 7 flat 5. So from this chord, F, A, D flat, and A flat, we just lower the tenor voice, and we have F, G flat, D flat, and A. So that gives us the minor major 7 sound. Now if we raise the root, we get an A major 7 sharp 5, and then we do the voice exchange, and that gives us that chord. So in effect, that's the A major 7 sharp 5, even though it looks like an F sharp, an F7 with a sharp 5 and a sharp 9 as well. And it is, and that's how it behaves. Okay, but moving forward, we can see all the relationships with the sharp 9, and we're just basically moving those. This will also go down to a minor 7 flat 5 on E flat, which resolves nicely. E flat, G flat, D flat, and A. Bring the tenor voice, the soprano voice up to B. You have like a B major, add 9, and that resolves really well to a B flat. So you have that kind of a sound. So that resolves also well to an E minor. So any of the regular E minor 7 sounds. Voice exchange here as well. If we bring the tenor voice up to A flat and we swap E flat, A, D flat, A flat, we can really hear that resolution to B flat. So much just out of the first part. Moving ahead to this chord, which we had, which was the flat 5, the sharp 5 on F7. Okay, so again, if we lower the tenor voice to B, we have that basic resolution on an F7 flat 5 and a sharp 5. But also looking ahead, again, the minor major 7 here. So this is F sharp, A, F, and D flat. And we can move the top voice to E flat. And that gives us that sound for an F7. So we have an F7 replacement kind of right here. And then we just resolve it to a B flat sound. So resolving there to F, D flat, E flat, and C. So that sort of a sound is good. Now if we take the root, we raise it, we have an A major 7 sharp 5, G sharp A, F, and D flat, and the top voice can also move, and those resolve quite nicely to a B flat minor 7, B flat, C, F, and D flat. So all those resolutions to from here. So we have that that's kind of a sharp 9 sound, and we can hear that resolution. So it's all good. We have all those very nice, those sort of resolutions for that chord. And there it all goes. Now if we take the top part, it becomes a sharp 9. So that becomes a sharp 9 on F sharp, on F, right? G sharp A, F, and E flat. Okay, moving ahead, we can also look at voice exchange with this sort of a chord, which we saw before. So this would be swapping out F and F sharp, and we already covered that one. So it just gives you an idea of how we came about. It took the minor major 7 and voice exchanged. F and F sharp exchange places. Moving forward, E flat minor 7 flat 5 right here. A, D flat, G flat, and E flat. And of course, that resolves very nicely and close to a B flat minor 7. Now, if we take the E flat and move it to F, we have the minor major 7 on F sharp. So, which resolves great to a B flat minor 7. B flat, D flat, A flat, and F. Go into an E flat in the soprano voice or a G. Does not matter. Very easy resolution to finger. Easier still if we bring the F sharp, E, so we have A, C sharp, F sharp, and F, and we bring it up to G sharp. We have an A major 7 sharp 5 right there. Voice exchange with the A and the A flat. Very nice. Easy resolution. One voice moves A to B flat. So no problem. That's very easy. Now, if we move the C sharp to D sharp, we have an F7 sharp 9. And of course we hear that resolve nicely. That's A, E flat, G sharp, and F. We can move the top voice to F sharp. We can move it down to D flat. So we have that sort of a sound. Of course we have the fourths resolution on the B flat minors. Now, voice exchange here, what's interesting is we can exchange F and E flat. That's a nice resolution. So this is an F7 with a sharp 9. A, F, G sharp, and D sharp or E flat. And the same resolution type. It really has a nice resolving quality to it. Should also be noted with these sort of chords that they can resolve down. If we, instead of taking the B flat, if we take them to E, very interesting, because all of these, if we look, all these sharp 9s or sharp 5 sounds for dominance. Now if we choose to resolve them to E, we simply move them down a whole step. So instead of the resolution being here, we just move the whole sequence. And it goes like this. All of these chords, all the formations that we hear for F7 are become E minor major sounds. So we can see that. So instead of this, so they all move the opposite direction, so they all become E minor majors. So the G major 7 sharp 5, the C sharp minor 7 flat 5, G major 7 sounds, etc. In this case, this would be an E minor major 7. So the formations just move down for the resolution. The same here, the sharp 5. So now we have an E minor 7 flat 5, which is C sharp, D sharp, A, and F sharp. Okay, we move the D sharp to F. We have an F sharp minor major 7. We move the top voice from F sharp to G sharp. We have an A major 7 sharp 5. And if we move the C sharp to D sharp, we now have an F7 sharp 9. And again, resolving to a B flat minor. So also it works here. So all of these voicings can move up to D flat. And they all now sound like a B flat minor major 7 resolution for that particular chord. And the final section that we'll deal with is right off of the 7th, and we've already kind of dealt with that with these sort of chords. So we already sort of have that. So from the 7th, this is the dominant 7 sharp 5, and again we can move that F to A flat, voice exchange, and that gives us the E flat minor major 11, the E flat minor 11 flat 5 for the resolution to B flat. And also some different ways of looking at this, going back to this chord, E flat minor major, E flat minor 7 flat 5, bring the top voice to a B, so D sharp, F sharp, C sharp, and B. So it's almost like B major resolving, and that would give you some different options. Obviously, the sharp 9 is there for the F7 sharp 9, E flat, F, and A and G sharp. And then for a flat 9, so we take the G sharp down to F sharp, E flat, F, A, and G flat, resolving to the B flat proper, and the B flat minor major 7 as well. So all of those chords resolve nicely. This is something that we'll deal with a little later, which is a D flat, A, C, and an A flat. So there are two different types of 7th on that chord for the B flat minor resolution. It can be moved up to the E as well. So those sorts of sounds will be dealt with as well in a different scale and a different resolution. So those give you the general idea about the F7 with a sharp 9, flat 9, sharp 5 and flat 5 from an F sharp minor basic sound on 1, 3, 4, 5 string family on the tonic of F.